Another direct payment from the US government is on the way in 2025, and this time it's worth $1,390. So the US Treasury Department and the IRS have now confirmed that millions of Americans will be eligible for this tax-free stimulus check. Now, with living costs still running hot, from groceries and gas to rent and utilities, well, this relief couldn't come at a better time for many households. So, in this video, I'm going to explain exactly who qualifies, when you can expect it, and how it will be delivered, and what it means for your finances. And I'll also dive into why it's showing up now, what's driving this payment behind the scenes, and how it's tied to some very political proposals from both President Trump and Senator Josh Hawley. So by the end, you'll know not only how to get it, but also how to make the most of it. So let's clear the air first. In August 2025, rumors started circulating that a $2,000 stimulus check was coming. That is not the case. Now, the IRS has stated that no $2,000 payment is in the works. However, the $1,390 payment, well, that's 100% real and it's confirmed. Now, why $1,390? Well, the figure comes from budget allocations within the Treasury's relief framework, and it's meant to balance affordability for the government with meaningful impact for recipients. Now, it's targeted specifically at low and middle income earners. Eligibility mirrors previous stimulus rounds, by the way. So if you earn $75,000 or less as an individual, or $150,000 or less as a married couple filing jointly, or $112,500 or less as head of household, where you're in the clear for the full amount. Now, above these limits, the payment gradually phases out. The IRS will use your most recent tax filing, and that's probably likely to be your 2024 return, to determine this. Now, this is a tax-free payment, and the good news is that means you don't have to report it as income, and it won't impact your eligibility for benefits like Medicaid, SNAP, Social Security, Veteran Affairs payments, or even railroad retirement benefits. Now, distribution will happen automatically for most people, either through direct deposit, paper check, or prepaid debit card. Now, historically, those with direct deposit see their payments first, followed by paper checks, then debit cards. Now, the IRS has not provided an exact payment date yet, but based on previous rollouts, direct deposits could begin within weeks of the official launch date. Now, paper checks, well, they might just take a few weeks longer. And if you haven't filed taxes recently, but you meet the income requirements, you may need to fill a simple return or use the IRS non-filer tool to ensure you're in the system. Now, this is essentially important for seniors and people with very low income, and those people might not normally file. Now, for many families, $1,390 might mean the ability to catch up on overdue bills, pay down credit card balances with high interest rates, or finally, afford a necessary repair or medical procedure. Now, while it may not seem life-changing on paper, using it strategically can create lasting benefits for you. For example, putting it towards your highest interest debt, well, that could save you hundreds in interest over time. Another way to stretch this payment is to treat it as seed money for an emergency fund. See, even a modest buffer, that can prevent you from relying on costly payday loans or the high interest credit cards when the unexpected happens. Beware though, scammers always pop up during stimulus rollouts, and that's important. Remember, the IRS will never call you, they'll never email you, and they'll never text you to verify your bank account or your personal details for a payment. So if someone does that, hang up or delete the message immediately, because the real payment comes automatically. So, This check of $1,390 is not the only financial proposal that's being discussed in Washington right now. In fact, President Trump has been promoting something called the DOGE Dividend. Now, under this plan, the Department of Government Efficiency, remember them, would look for ways to reduce wasteful spending, and they did. 20% of the savings will be returned directly to the taxpayers in the form of a dividend, and another 20%, well, that will be applied to the national debt. Now, critics, including tax policy experts, warn that this could actually reduce the effectiveness of efficiency efforts if too much of the savings is given away instead of being reinvested. But even so, the idea has gained political traction amongst those who favour direct taxpayer rebates. Now, excuse me, Trump has also floated the idea of giving Americans rebate checks funded by tariff revenue from imported goods. And building on that, Senator Josh Hawley introduced the American Worker Rebate Act. Now, his bill would send at least $600 to every adult and dependent child, with the possibility of more if tariff revenues comes in higher than expected. Now, this bill is still making its way through Congress and unfortunately hasn't been approved just yet. But the takeaway here is that while the $1,390 stimulus is confirmed, there could be more direct payments in the future if these proposals move forward. So, my financial warriors, just before we take a deeper dive, it's imperative you hit that like button and subscribe so that you get notified the minute we produce another game-changing video that helps your financial situation. And I promise it will help and you will appreciate it. So buckle up and let's take a deeper plunge. So to make sure you get this payment quickly, file your taxes if you haven't done so already. Keep your bank information updated with the IRS, and if you've moved, file a change of address. Now, when you receive the payment, think very carefully about how you're going to use it. Paying off debt with a high interest rate, adding to your emergency savings, or covering overdue necessities will stretch the value far beyond $1,390. If you're in a stable position financially, well, you could consider using part of it for skills training, certifications, or even investments that could improve your earning potential in the long run. Turning a one-time government payment into a permanent income boost, well, that is without doubt one of the smartest moves you can ever make. So, the $1,390 federal stimulus payment is confirmed, targeted at households that need it most, and set to be delivered in the coming months. With Trump's DOGE dividend and Hawley's rebate bill in the political pipeline, well, this could be just the start of more direct payments ahead. Now, in a forthcoming video, I'll walk you through exactly how the IRS decides who gets paid first and how you can track your payment status once it begins. Subscribe now and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single thing from this channel. And in the meantime, have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.